Hello, my friends, and thank you for being with me yet another month. Welcome to all newbies, and invite you to become a subscriber because then you get notified when I'm live, and it gives you opportunity to kind of interact and bring your energy on board. Now, just a few quickie introductions. I still have my annual Taroscopes on sale. You get one for only $10 and all of them for $20. And I will continue during the April to have my speed up promotion. I am working very hard to kind of catch up with this, but for you it works that instead of like 3-4 weeks, now you're upgrading automatically to a week. So regular reading is becoming rush, and rush reading, which was 7 days, is becoming urgent, so from 7 to 3. And the urgent reading is not more 3 days, it is like 24 hours, so it's kind of awesome. I am doing my best, if you do the order for urgent before 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, to actually do it the same day. But then again, sometimes I have to go and see my dad and I'm not at home, so but at that stage I'm going to send you an email saying the timeline for the urgent ones. Now guys, this is all there is. We still have Mercury Retrograde until the 15th, and then another 3 weeks for the shadow. So yay. How is your car going? How is your phone? Is it slow? Is your computer slow? What broke down? And I really hope it is not affecting you as much as it's affecting me. In any case, I'll be doing just regular tarot monthly, and then of course it's going to be revolving then to Lenormand and X spread shortly thereafter. Thank you guys very much, and please like, subscribe, and share this video, and you know that I love you. Hello Aries, and welcome to April tarot reading for you. So let's start with the underlying energies. I have Ten of Sky reversed, and then I have Devil reversed. Ouch and ouch, right? But then again, we are going through Mercury retrograde in your sign, and it is your birthday. Seemed to be like just a tipping point of a volcano, the fire just about to kind of like pour. And actually, you know what? You have a lucky charm coming. Hi, Seth. Hi, Seth. There is a lucky charm over here. Kind of like participating in the reading, just to let you know. Present. So, let's go about this. Both of them are reversed. Look at this kitty. Does this look to you as somebody who is feeling comfortable and confident in the position that they are actually presently keeping? It doesn't look like there's anywhere to go. You see, their back is against the old small tiny little thing they can actually hold, but they have lost an eye, and they're in an environment which is wet, broken-tailed, and the storm is coming. It kind of looks like this kitty just lost all its 9 lives. So I don't know, it's kind of really weird because you also have the Devil card underneath over here as well, which is called Demon Cat, and the Devil here. Reversed Devil and reversed Ten of Swords. I mean, twice. You guys have been through a grinder, right? Oh, and you have a strength. Good Lord. It really challenged you. It really challenged who you are and how you deal with things. It challenged your responses, and looks like you have been attacked from all the sides. It kind of like felt you're losing at this game. This also could be emotional for those of you who do have either a third-party situation or exes lingering around. This card always tells me about the exes. And it talks about manipulation, right? You know, sometimes the baby mama or, you know, a person infiltrates. It's simply just human, natural, but it can actually really mess somebody else's life. And there is like this maybe impact financially, and maybe there's like this impact in simply in your kind of brain processing. Maybe you're sort of like to the fritz. Your fuse has burned down, and you're realizing actually you cannot continue like this, because hey, you're fire, even though this actually represents the what do you call it, the earth sign, but you are a fire and this is an air. So I think you're sort of sorting things out, given that these two cards are reversed. This card is also a card of codependency. Codependency, I would say, is sort of like 20th century, sort of collective karma, 21st, 22nd century. I don't think actually the millennials will have it, but they'll have different issues, more about it on my other channel. So I'm going to include the link somewhere here, is going to appear eventually, about the codependency that I kind of like did the reading. It's really not the reading on the other channel, it's more or less art therapy, sort of like just to guide you through it. So what is codependency? Codependency is like when we feel that if this person is not with us, that we are going to die. You know, like we all have experienced that, like really pain in the chest and kind of like burning feeling, which certainly is not basically heartburn, it's heartache. And sometimes it gets toxic. Sometimes it's a situation where everybody feels lost, especially if you have a third-party situation. Something has come to an end for you guys, that I see it here, that some sadness is present, but there are good news as well. So I wanted to start with the bad news to kind of continue, because I had a couple of cards jumping out while I was shuffling. Certainly being the Ace of C1, it was reversed, so I'm glad it came back upright. So in the past, there is the Emperor. Emperor represents Aries. So I feel, given these two cards, that you guys have lost some kind of stability. There is a person involved, or maybe you're involved with, or somehow is present in your life, who kind of it's kind of weird actually. Sorry, I'm just noticing that here. I have never noticed this before in this card. Look at this. Actually, this should technically belong to Aries, but look at this. Here it's showing up lions, right? Am I right? Am I right? Weird. But there is a crown as well. Certainly he's an emperor. And yeah, I'm a little bit confused with this. So I guess why this is confusing is that this is like strong fire energy, but it's sort of like very latent. You know how we do the fire, and like when the fire kind of dies down, we still see kind of like the little kind of burning spots in it, but most likely it's not picking up, because this is the grounding energy over here that you have the sun, the burnout. I don't know, maybe it's that just like time of a year where you kind of like feel, good Lord, kind of leave me alone, I have to relax a little bit, rest. In any case, you are sort of doing some kind of evaluation. So who is the center in your life, and what is important for you, and who are your close friends, who is on the outskirts, who is simply just maybe too ridiculous to be in your life, and who is actually a person you kind of have fun. Another thing is like here there is like this still resonance of either some kind of embarrassment and sort of like, I would say, you know, small fish in a small pond over here, because look at this beautiful ambience, this like beautiful Greek island. And yeah, the kitty kind of slipped and wanted to get the little kind of fish and fell in. But the point here is that, oh my gosh, this is not a big deal. So what? You didn't get your fish. Good stuff, right? Now, being reversed, it's kind of like literally thinking that everybody's looking at you, right? Be very careful. Could be very kind of egoistic kind of approach, kind of like let go of that. But I kind of like see that this is emotional sadness and this is kind of intellectual kind of process it. What happened, guys, that seems to be stunting your progress? And it's kind of weird because you kind of like felt you had everything under control. And I think that's when Mercury retrograde happened. And certain things came back to resurface. And trust me, this is actually good news because things resurface sort of like just to retest us. Did you handle this lesson? And how did you handle the last time? How did it go? So you have the ability to kind of reassess how you're kind of like approaching the other things. So let's see the core. And this is kind of like really lovely. Look at this sea tone and sky tone. So two things. I see married solutions and I see people who are single solutions. And if you are in between these two things, either you're trying to get married or you're breaking up with someone, so you're between single and being with somebody, or sorry, when I said married, like situational, kind of like for the couples. Now, look at this. It's trying so hard. This sounds like, looks like Safi and her, like, I mean, I cannot even say it, bird toy, because she's going to come here. But kind of like really going to go for it, go for it. And you know, when you're in a situation, did you ever play with a cat? Oh my gosh, everything gets broken in the process, right? They don't care where to stop because they only have one thing, that eye contact and the paw contact. This is kind of where it happens, right? In the head. And look at this, the clouds literally kind of being lost. Now, it's a Sea King, which is kind of like the opposite. Look at how completely relaxed this Sea King is. He's kind of emotional and supportive and kind of like studying the situation. These could be two facets of you, kind of like trying to push forward and get your stuff, but also kind of trying to see that you are support to the others. Maybe you're simply giving yourself a strong support, giving that something happened that kind of like pulled the rug under your feet. For couples, it could mean rekindling, because the Sun card and the Emperor, it's kind of burnout. It's a lots of kind of like things, kind of take the garbage out, very kind of process oriented things that kind of like cut the romance. You guys are not a romantic sign, but you are kind of like a musing sign, right? So that's why you kind of like the aggression is refined to look like romance. Sort of like you would not probably sing like the Sea King under somebody's basically window. You would take somebody to basically skydiving instead, or kind of circus. It will be some action involved with this. There is that kind of thing that certain things lingering is sort of like something that you're trying to put aside. Now, who the heck are the Sky Queen and Sky King? Look at them. This guy is appearing as your emotional state, and she's appearing as the very next thing that's coming up, sort of the immediate future, or something that is kind of imminent. But cards are cards. I usually do look at the spaces, but I also look what, you know, I see. And I see a couple here. And this could be a father and a son, right? As well, or a mother and a son, because it's a general reading. So this could be a couple, another couple that you know, with whom you maybe hang around. This could be your parents. This is certainly also having ability to think about something legally. That's why I said it could be something about couples, because the Sea King sometimes takes upon himself a role of a judge, of kind of like really thinking through, just like also the Emperor does, sort of like, let's kind of like put the logic on the table, right? Sky Queen is the same way, right? She actually isn't stuck. She has been in a difficult situation, and she actually can wiggle out of any difficult situation, as well as to recognize. Maybe you're simply going through some kind of like winter in your life. Maybe maybe you're thinking about a future. Maybe you're thinking about the past in order to think about the future. Because some of you are really feeling that you need support from the outside. I always see these two cards, and also in us getting mature. Because I know that many people don't like air. But fire is the vibration right under the air. So for you becoming the air, so that can mean both of them is you, meaning you're kind of moving to the next stage and kind of like trying to improve for yourself, kind of maybe be neutral, kind of like let's check out. But this also can tell me that you're detaching yourself from your emotions. Sometimes we do that because the emotions are really, really hard. Overall, guys, toward the end of the month, there will be distinct move forward. You will be doing again what you love. Even though I have to say, with the Ace of ARIES being reversed, and I love, love, love how this card is made with a big paw over here. This could mean uprooting. This could mean something was not built properly, and maybe kind of getting this understanding, or simply not having cooperation from the people. Something, anyway, for something is going to be a dead end. And it could be job related, it could be something that you planned long term, and now you're just realizing, oh well, you know, that direction is not good. And it's a good thing to know and to realize that. Hopes and fears, you have Ace of C. Even though something is closing down, and I think this is closing down after this kind of like really thorough examination, because what is really good about Sky or Swords is it's fast. As I said, raising your vibration, you're saying, screw it. I need to kind of like be a raiser, like look there, like there is a higher position, both of them, as you're kind of like realizing where this all Sky family, and this could be mother, father, and a child, because we have them all over here. You guys join my school to learn about the characters in tarot. Sea King is all the way down, like of course he should be really in water, but he's gentle, he's not even catching the fish. So now Ace of Sea is from that very high component, you're going down. So I actually like that, because it tells me it's like the 360, like you're accompanying everything, you're seeing everything, and that kind of again tells me about the maturity. People, we go through life by always saying you and you and you, and we are all the victims. But this is kind of saying, look, I need to cut off everything. It doesn't work. Off you go, off you go. And it's one life to live, and I don't care. Let's live this life the best I can. And if you guys don't want to join me, you know what? I have so much love in my heart. I have so much love to give, and darn it, I'm going to do it. So off you go. You're like rolling up your sleeves, you're moving forward. And it might be still some kind of flashbacks while moving forward. It looks like really there's a blockage because something you really, really wanted. It looks like you're going to give it a second shot. There is like a lack of collaboration and cooperation over something. But this is the only card in the Celtic cross that actually can change, because it's kind of coming a little bit distant in the future. So let's see if I need to clarify anything. Yeah, let's go and clarify majors. Let's just see what is this all about. So I honestly think that it's kind of detaching yourself from the situation that has been disturbing, to say the least. So let me see the sun. What is the sun over here? Where are my fellow Aries? So look at this. I said this is kind of about relationship. And again, it could be baby mama, it could be you, that you're having a problems with child support, or that simply everything is getting like so hard and it's getting to you saying, oh my gosh, when is my time? When do I get sleep? When do I get rest? And in order to do that, guys, you really need to kind of like figure out who stays and who goes, just like in this card. You see how this kitty is keeping these kitties close. Kitty's putting itself in the center. I'm the god, I'm the goddess. You know, like this joke when the same person is talking to a cat and to a dog, right? And they like come in, and the dog goes first, and he's like, you know, the people, they are like so lovely, and they feed me, and they're like telling me that they love me, and you know, this is like, and they pet me, so they must be gods, right? Like adoringly telling this. And then cat is listening to this, said, you know, they feed me, they pet me, they tell me that I'm beautiful. I must be God. So that's kind of like you have to give yourself this kind of a God or goddess attitude over here, and it just like shows, it's just like the difference in attitude, and you have to figure out what stays and what goes. So let me see this devil, because you got it twice underneath here. Well, like, I'm not really that worried about this, because that's sort of like a lingering energy that is coming out really nicely. I'm more worried about, not worried, not the right word, but like more kind of like intrigued to see what is this that you cannot ground. But anyway, let's check this demon and the Ten of Swords, because you're about to start a new phase, which you're starting in your heart, but it's still kind of not going to fully move, because I think you're still going to experience the shadow, and that's because Mercury is never a fun thing to have. Unless you have to finish something from the past, right? So, there we go. Thought, hope reversed. Okay, so this is telling me, and that would kind of make sense with the codependency feeling of the devil card. Devil is shown with these chains because we kind of like keep being a marionette, and sometimes we do what our parents tell us to do, and then we follow that family karma forever. And people who did get karmic reading with me, they kind of like know that I talk about it, and we sometimes spend our whole entire life not getting results that we want. It's like, for goodness, what to do, right? And this, I think, because they're both reversed, it's realization that you have to figure out what works for you, because certain things, certain teachings, certain do it my way did not work, and it cannot work for you. Or somebody is like really trying to constrain you and say how to be, and this doesn't work either. And that kind of would make sense that you're getting into this, okay, I have to look it from the above. I have to see what is this all about. So let's see, what is this here happening with this Ace of Earth? And it's Three of Earth. Ace of Earth. And Three of Earth. I'm sorry, this is too loud. I really don't like shuffling in front of the microphone because it really picks it up. I guys think this is you, actually. Somebody in some path that you have been embarking, and that kind of goes back to this. It's no longer serving you. You kind of like feel it's rotting away. And you know, sometimes that's a thing to understand. And this could be you guys, or your significant one. Somebody is absolutely not willing to participate. So, okay, let's put this in terms of relationships only. It looks like there is some kind of hurt. If you're single, there is like still some kind of lingering pain from the past. If you're married, it's either a total burnout or everything that is coming your way, and you just kind of cope with the chores and everything. It's just like, leave me alone. I need to rest. It also could be that there are issues in the relationship, and that you start to feel you're losing a grip on life. Not so much the partner, because I kind of like see kind of maybe issues with children for those of you who are couples. But for those who are singles, I think you will be meeting somebody, and maybe that kind of makes sense because it is Mercury retrograde thing, so everything is just like simply almost like an illusion. We always have to go and backtrack from Mercury retrograde. So could it be you'll meet somebody who has a child, and the child is like a little obnoxious? This also could talk about, you know, spying on people, which kind of does happen during Mercury retrograde. Somebody's silent and silently spying, and maybe somebody's really wondering how you're doing. Singles might actually go forward with this new person because there are like lots of good things that kind of can look from Seeking to Ace of Cups, which is really, really cool. But I really don't think that some of you are fully ready from singles. Those of you who are ready, you'll just go and press, like, I mean, the foot on the pedal on this Ace of Cups. Those who are not ready, you're simply going to acknowledge this. So, look, I'm not ready. I cannot grow. I have to go slower. And I have to realize what I can do, what I cannot do. And you'll be thinking through how to balance your life better. So, my dear Aries, I hope you like this, and I hope you understand this is a general reading. And if you have any private questions, check me out for different levels of private reading at cattarot.ca, and let's go from there. And don't forget to check the specials and check my Facebook, check Instagram. Until next time, all the best, and I love you.